Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you are new here, make sure you subscribe so you guys can see all of the new content that I put out, 3 videos a week. I am going to jump right in. I am doing shelf cooking today. Nick and I have not gone to a grocery store or purchased any food items in 3 weeks. We are using up what we have, and this is how I do it. I'm going to show you at the end my freezer and pantry so you guys can see we did stock up really well right before we decided no more shopping. So these are the meals I came up with. Thanks so much for tuning in. We have like a whole shelf of leftovers in there. We have like a half a jar of tomato sauce. So I just want to use up some things in there so that we are not wasting food. So the first thing I'm going to do is turn on my oven because I have something in mind, but I'm going to show you. But I want the oven preheated. So right now in my fridge, this is all like things that need to get eaten up. So I'm going to take out the chicken. Take out these noodles to make a dish. I need the feta. And I need some spinach because it's going to go bad very soon if I don't use it. And these tomatoes. So I'm making that feta pasta again. I'm just going to add in some of my leftovers that I have. All you're going to do is get some cherry tomatoes or any little tomatoes, grape tomatoes. Put them in your oven until they burst open with some feta, olive oil, garlic, oregano, and you're going to mash them up when they come out, and that's your sauce. And I have my noodles already cooked, some chicken already cooked, so I'm going to get the sauce, add my spinach, and if I don't have enough sauce, which I don't think I will for the amount of food I'm going to make with it, I have this like half a jar of tomato sauce. So I'm going to use up as much of these odds and ends that I can. Okay, so I have my casserole dish out. You don't need a big one just because it's pretty small dish. If you're making it for more people, then obviously you need a bigger container. But it's just for Nick and I, so tomatoes, some olive oil, just a little. I think feta is pretty salty, so I don't add any salt to this. Just gonna do some black pepper, some basil, just a little shake, some onion powder, and some oregano. Oops. Okay. We like a lot of garlic. This is probably 2 tablespoons for just 2 portions. Well, probably 3 portions. Give it a little mix so that the olive oil is coating all these tomatoes. And then like 20 minutes in the oven. So at this point I have my spinach just in the bottom. I just wanted it wilted so I didn't cook that. My heated up noodles, my heated chicken, and my heated sauce. I'm just going to mix this up, and as soon as this is done being mixed, the tomatoes and feta will be ready to come out and join the party. Ooh, look at all those bubbles. And just to get a little color on everything, I turned the broiler on for a little bit. And now you just go with a tomato, when you take a spoon and squish all the tomatoes down. And that's where you get your sauce from. I just had that half a jar, so that's why I used up that too. But this is going to be way tastier than jarred sauce. So you just mash them all up. mash, mash. And then you just give it all a good mix so that it all becomes nice and saucy. With the crumbles, I probably could have put it in there for a little bit longer or a little earlier than what I thought, because it didn't break down as much. Or maybe the crumbles just don't break down as much. So while this is still boiling hot, I'm going to put it in here so that my spinach can continue to wilt. Alright, so now that it's all mixed up, I am just going to portion them. And I used up, out of my refrigerator, I used some spinach that was going to go bad, some leftover noodles and chicken, and a jar of sauce. My feta was already open. There's a lot of spinach in that bowl. My spinach was going to go bad, and my feta was already open. So the only thing I used to make all of this that was not like opened or going bad or anything was the cherry tomatoes. So I used one thing to pull a whole meal together. We have 2 portions here, and now that I'm seeing all of it, this will be another 2 portions. So this is great. Lots of goodies. I'm also going to top Nick's with some crushed red pepper because he really likes that. Alright, so for my second meal of not going to the store, only using what I have, I dug through my pantry and my freezer a little bit. This little helper was all about the rustling. He was hoping I was going to drop something. So I had some carrots a couple weeks ago that got a little not slimy, but they were going to get bad. They were going to go bad before I could use them, so I popped them in the freezer. Gonna use those up. I have some vegetable stock, some cannellini beans, some corn, and some chicken for sure that I'm gonna cook up. I'm gonna chop up an onion, and I still haven't dug through my deep freezer, and I know that's where a lot of my veggies are, but I'm gonna get all of this in the crock pot cooking, and we'll go from there. I will show you anything else I add, but for right now, it's this plus 1 onion that I haven't chopped up yet. So use your imagination. It's right here in my hand. Okay, so I have my onion that you guys imagined all chopped up in the crock pot. I do have it on high now. I'm just getting everything warmed up. I did not rinse my beans or my corn so that I had some salt in here and some extra liquid, because this is not going to be enough liquid for soup, which is where I'm going with this. And I have like half a cube of like chicken bouillon because Nick didn't use it all, so I'm going to throw that in here and fill it up with water. Along with that, I'm going to put in these spices, some black pepper, and because I didn't rinse the beans, there's a lot of salt, so I'm not going to add salt until the end after I taste it to see if it's necessary. Basil, sage, garlic, onion, and oregano. I would have added garlic powder as well, but my garlic powder is a garlic salt. So again, not doing salt. If I feel like it needs some salt at the end and it's not overly garlicky, I will add that. But that's going to be in a few hours after I taste it. So I'm going to throw in all these seasonings, fill it up with some water, and throw that half a bouillon cube in there, mix it up, and just let it cook. Hi, me again, talking about this soup still. I decided that I wanted to dump in some diced tomatoes as well. And then I'm going to fill the rest up with water. I decided to go with the tomatoes because I have a fair amount of quinoa that I am going to put in this soup after the chicken's all cooked and shredded. I will add some quinoa to that. So I have a lot. So now that I have this crock pot nice and full on high, I'm just going to leave it, let it hang out. for probably, the chicken was defrosted, so probably like 4 hours. I'll shred up the chicken, see how it looks, and then just kind of let it hang out on low for a while, or maybe even my keep warm setting. And then when Nick gets closer to being home, I'll throw in the quinoa like an hour beforehand. Okay, so I just took out my chicken breasts and I used my metal tongs, chopped them all up, and I added about a hearty cup of quinoa. I'm going to put the chicken back in, mix it all up, and then I'm just going to let it cook until Nick gets home for dinner time. So when that soup got done, I totally forgot to take video clips of it. Nick had just gotten home. I had just gotten the baby down to go to sleep. It was kind of a chaotic moment, and I forgot. But I'm here to tell you it was delicious, and I plan on making it again because it's stuff I have all the time. It was really good. We really liked it. Nick even had 2 bowls, and he doesn't even really like quinoa that much. So, you know, it's good when you go back for more. All right, meal 3 of this shelf challenge. I have some turkey pepperonis, some feta cheese, a singing baby, some shell pasta, like a half a bottle, 3/4 of a bottle of Italian dressing, cucumber, carrots, and red onion. And I'm going to make a pasta salad. You don't really need a recipe for that, but I am just grabbing some odds and ends and making some lunches out of it. At this point, it's been 3 weeks since we've gone to the grocery store, so I just want to use up this stuff before it goes bad. I'm really surprised this cucumber lasted this long, which is why I want to use it up today. All right, so the pasta's all cooked. I'm gonna start with that much. Oh geez, Hercules, help. Just dropped a lot of carrots on the ground. About half a bag of shredded carrots. Those are my favorite part. Cucumbers, onions. Some pepperonis. I could not get this stupid bag open, so I ended up just ripping the whole thing. Ouch. Still a little toasty in here. Can't get the stupid little thing out. Eh. That was a little dramatic, but couldn't get the thing out. So like 2/3 of the pepperonis. The goal is to use up everything, so I'm just dumping the rest of the feta in there, plus delicious. Give her a mix, and that's the 3rd meal. I might even use more of that dressing and maybe the rest of the pepperoni. That wasn't all the cucumber, but I'm gonna make Nick some hummus that I'm gonna show you guys right now too. And so I wanted him to have a little veggies with it. Yeah, I think that's enough veggies in here between all those carrots. So about half of that went to, half of that cucumber went towards his veggies and crackers for his hummus, because I'm gonna make hummus next. That looks pretty good for lunches. Okay, and for the last recipe of the shelf cooking that I'm showing you guys, I'm going to make Nick some hummus. So I have some chickpeas, 2 cans of them, some olive oil, some chili lime seasoning, a little bit of salt, tahini, Thai peppers, garlic, and lemon. This is not my recipe to share, so I'm not going to, because I don't want to get in trouble, but there are tons of simple hummus recipes online. I've tweaked it a little bit, like it didn't call for chili lime or this Thai, but Nick really likes spicy, so adding in some spicy. All right, so this is everything in here. I have the tahini, the salt, the chickpeas, the seasoning, the chilies, the oil, lemon juice. Everything is in here. I am going to pulse it or puree it until it's nice and smooth. finished product of the hummus. Nick says it's really good. I don't do spicy, so I don't even try it, but I've been making it for him for a couple weeks now, and he seems to really enjoy it. So here is the last meal. He'll have this with some crackers or some pretzels from the pantry. And then my freezer, so I'm not too worried about us skipping the grocery store for a while. This is like probably half full now, and I just want to work on using up my goodies, and I definitely have enough for a while. I'm just gonna get produce when Amelia runs out of formula, which will probably still be another week before that, maybe even 2, I'm not sure, between 1 and 2 weeks. So I just wanted to show you a quick overview of my pantry. Since I keep saying that I'm at 3 weeks, I still have plenty of snacks, plenty of food in here for a while. Amelia had to make an appearance in today's video, even if it was at the very end. I just wanted to thank you guys for hanging out with me in my kitchen today and seeing me use up all the things on my shelves between my pantry, my fridge, my freezer. Just trying to use them up. At this point, I am about 3 weeks into not grocery shopping. The last trip was about 3 weeks ago. Tomorrow will be 3 weeks exactly. So we are doing pretty good, using up our stuff. You saw my pantry, you saw my freezer. I still can go for a while. We're gonna go until Little Miss over here runs out of formula, because that is obviously not something we can do. So thanks so much for hanging, and have a great day. Bye.